Example 9. Graph the hyperbola given by the equation, then identify and label the center, the vertices, the co-vertices, the foci, and the asymptotes. Now, first of all, cross out co-vertices because a hyperbola does not have them, and that was probably a typo from when we did ellipses. Now, if we want to graph this hyperbola, the first issue I see is this is not in standard form. So just like with ellipses and circles, we're going to start rearranging and complete the square. So I'm going to start with 9x squared minus 36x. Then we have a minus 4y squared minus 40y equals, and then I'm going to add the 388 to the other side, so 388. Now, just like before, if you want to complete the square, you have to have a leading coefficient of 1. So on my x's, I'm going to take out a 9, which is going to leave us with x squared minus 4x plus blank. On my y's, I'm going to take out a negative 4. Now, that is a negative, but keep in mind when you're doing hyperbolas, it has to be a subtraction. So this is actually good, but make sure we're paying attention to that negative because it's going to come up later. So then we're going to have y squared plus 10y plus blank equals, and then we're going to have our 388 plus blank plus blank, and we're going to pay very, very close attention to that blue blank. That's going to be a problem. Okay, going back to our x's, I'm going to take half of negative 4, which is negative 2. I'm going to square it, which gets me 4. Now, keep in mind you're not actually adding 4 here because of this 9. So you're adding 36, which means we have to add 36 to this side. Then we're going to take half of 10, which is 5. We're going to square that, which is 25. And now we have to think about something. We're not adding 25, and we're actually not even adding 100. Are we adding 100? Or are we subtracting 100? So because of this negative, when I distribute it, negative 4 times 25 is we're actually subtracting 25 from this side. So if you're subtracting 25 from the left, then you actually have to subtract, and I'm sorry, not 25, 100. Then you actually have to subtract 100 from the right. So because of that negative, if it's negative on the left, you have to make it negative on the right. So this is actually going to be minus 100. Now we're going to go back and factor. So we have our 9. This is going to be x minus 2 squared. Then minus 4, and this is y plus 5 squared. Equals, if we take 388 plus 36 and then minus 100, we're going to get 324. At this point, we're close, but keep in mind, you have to equal this to 1. So we're going to divide everybody by 324. Nine divided by 324 is going to get us 36. So x minus 2 squared over 36 minus 4 divided by 324 is going to get us 81. So y plus 5 squared over 81 equals 1. And now we have enough information to start working. So let's focus on this. Now, the first thing I'm going to focus on is the center. So the center is my HK. H is right here, K is right here, so I know my center is at 2, negative 5. Then I can go look at my A value. So my A value is going to be the square root of that, which is going to give me 6. So from my center, I'm going to go up 6, which is going to give me my first vertice. And then I'm going to go down 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which goes off my graph again, which is going to get me my second vertice. And I think I did that wrong. Totally did that wrong. So you actually don't want to go up and down 6, and the reason is because this is on your x-axis. So I actually want to go left and right 6. Okay, let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which still goes off your graph. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is going to be over here. That looks a little bit better. Now, as for my B value is going to be 9. And then if I look up, that's the one that's paired with the Y. So we want to go up 9 and down 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then this one, we're already at -5, and we have to go down 9 more. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's going to put us down here at like -14. Okay, from there, if we want to continue graphing, remember that we have to create our box. So I'm going to come out, I'm going to come down, going to go over, going to go up, and then I'm going to come from my center out through my corners. Keep in mind this bottom part might look a little off because we went off our graph. And then we can graph our hyperbola. Now our vertices were our A value, which was the 6. It was on the X. So when we draw this, we have to cut through the X axis, which means your parabola is going to be standing up. I'm going to come back to this green vertice. I'm going to go up and right along my asymptote, down right along the asymptote. Same thing on the other side. So at this point, the graph of our hyperbola is done. We just have to keep going and label the center, the vertices, the foci, and the asymptotes. We have already labeled the center at 2, -5. The next thing I'm going to look at are the vertices, which are my green dots. Now, from the center, which was at 2 here, we had to go 6 more, which puts me at 8, -5. And then on my other side, I'd have to back it up, which puts me at -4, -5. Then we have to find our foci, and our foci are going to lie on the same transverse axis that cuts the hyperbola kind of in half. In order to find the foci, we're going to need the C value. Keep in mind, C squared equals A squared plus B squared. A squared back from our equation was 36, plus B squared was 81. So C squared is 117. If we take the square root of that, we're going to get the square root of 117, which is actually 3 root 13. Now, in order to list these, let's take a look where we're at. So we're at our center, which is right here. From our center, we have to go to a foci and to a foci. So out on the left, out on the right. And we know in order to get there, we have to go 3 root 13. So we're going to have to add 3 root 13, and we're going to have to subtract 3 root 13. And we're already at 2. So our foci are going to be at 2 plus 3 root 13. That will get you the one on the right-hand side. And then down -5. And 2 minus 3 root 13. And then down -5. Last but not least, we need the equation of our asymptotes. Now, the equation of your asymptote is a line, which is y equals mx plus b. In order to do that, we're going to change that into transformational form, which is y equals m x minus h plus k. It's the same thing as your other equations we can put in the center. The reason we're doing that is because b is your y-intercept. If I'm looking at these asymptotes, well, this first one has a y-intercept up here that it looks like approximately -2. This one looks like it's down here maybe 8, -9, -10. So that's going to be a problem. Versus if I switch it over to transformational form with an HK, I just have to worry about the center, and I already know the center is right here at 2, -5, which means we need to find our slope. So from the center, I go up, I go over. So this was my rise. Remember, that's really your B value, which was 9. Then you have your A value, which was 6. So you can go up 9, run 6, or you can go up 9 and then backwards 6. So once again, our slope, y equals plus or minus 9/6, because we could go positive or negative. Then x minus h, well, our center was at 2, plus k, -5. Last thing we're going to do here is simplify. So 9/6 really becomes 3/2. And then x minus 2 minus 5. That's the equation of your asymptotes. And then back up here, we've got your center, your vertex, and your foci, and then your graph.